captives. To follow up on what we were saying about Dreamwood, I always imagine a captive as up a stone tower letting her hair down. You know, I keep thinking Rapunzel, but a captive is a material that one of the big companies has invented. So they've created a molecule, and it's patented, because you can't patent or copyright an actual perfume, but the process by which you made something and the result of it, that can be just yours. So sometimes perfume companies decide they'll sell those straight away because they're going to earn more money from selling to all the other perfume businesses than they are making perfumes out of them. But more often, they're hoping that their captive perfume will be in a very successful fragrance that hits the top of the charts, and everybody else wants a fragrance that smells like that, so they have to go to them and say, please make mine as well, will you, and will you use that in it? Which is one of the reasons that you get trends in perfumery, is that somebody will be using that molecule. It's the thing that everybody thinks they need to have. So that's what a captive is. And I mean, there are companies in India that are breaking the patents and making them secretly. I don't know which those companies are, but I do know that, because I you know, they've told me, but I have deliberately forgotten who they are because I don't want to know. So that exists, but technically they are. You have to go to either, you know, Firmenich or Givaudan, IFF or Simrise or whoever it is who's made that particular molecule. If you want that aroma, you've got to go to that. And so only yesterday maybe, Melanie from IES was in. She says, oh, we've got this one, it's Nymphéal, it's just been released, it was a captive. And people get very excited about this, but it's a material which smells like Lily of the Valley, and I've already got 3 Lily of the Valley materials. I don't need another one. If I'm going to start using this, I have to reformulate everything. So it's like, yeah, you're fine. I'm not a captive hunter. But I have been asked, how can I possibly make a perfume when I can't get my hands on a captive? It's like, well, you make the perfume like everybody did up to the point at which this captive was invented. You know, you just make a perfume out of all the other things. It's not a problem. But that's when people, they say, but I can't make that one I want to copy. It's like, you know how I feel about that. It's like, well, make something else then. Make something original. Think of something new. Make something that nobody has ever made before without that thing. So, but where we do get our hands on captives, if we really want some, is that the big companies will put some of their captives in their bases. And their bases are things like, say, Orish Shivko. I'm not sure if that's got any captives in it, because if it did, it would probably say on the safety data sheet, trade secret at 0.3% or something.
Dreamwood base?
Dreamwood base, yes. So Dreamwood is still a captive. If you want Dreamwood at 100% strength, you have to go to the people who make it, who I can't remember. If I think of Firmenich, but now I can't remember. I'll look it up and put in the notes. But I have Dreamwood base, which is mostly Dreamwood with some other things. So we can get Dreamwood Plus, because they've decided to release it because it's so good, it's such a good sandalwood replacer that we want it. So, yeah, there are ways in which we can get our hands on captives if we really want, but we have to buy them surrounded by its friends. It's like, you know, it's like you might be able to buy a dress made out of a certain print, but you can't buy a roll of the material. You can't make your own shaped dress out of it, because the designer wants it in that shaped dress, because that's so that's it. But I think people get too excited about captives and they get FOMO about it, and they in order to release themselves from the FOMO, it's not getting. It won't help if they get hold of the captive because there'll be another one, and then they'll just go through life going, "It's not fair. I can't make it when I haven't got the captive." Like, well, let it go, and make something different.
Yeah.
Is my answer to that. And eventually, when the captive is released and you get it, and you go, "Oh, is that it?"
Yeah. Well, it's just novelty, really, isn't it? It's got to be new ingredients.
It is the whole new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all the captive is. It's something you can't have yet. Let it go.